What is going on, my patriots? How y'all guys doing? Welcome to another edition of Joel Davis Media Network. If it's your first time tuning in to the broadcast, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell up top. Please like and share. Please like and share. Now, with that being said, let's jump into today's story. Guys, this story that I'm about to bring to you guys is very disturbing. This is coming from Breitbart. This is exclusive footage about private school teachers nationwide implementing the Race-Essentialist curricula trained by the Black Panther. Now, through teacher training lectures with titles like Cultivating Anti-Racists and Activists in Kindergarten, decolonizing, decolonizing, sorry, the minds of second graders in the white people way, the nation's leading accreditation association for private schools is instructing educators to adopt race essentialist and cultural Marxist curriculum for children as young as 5 years old. Now, here is one of the principals here who have the nerve to talk about what uh, this whole thing means. Okay, this is the Principal Professional Development Conference, and this is hosted by NAIS for Teachers. The People of Color Conference was started by educational diversity, equity consultant and former NAIS director of diversity, Randolph Carter, who is a self-described Black Panther. Listen to this motherfucker's racist bullshit.
Before we get started, I just want to take a minute and I hope I'm not embarrassing anyone, but I do want to acknowledge Randolph Carter and just a couple of his contributions. During his many years as head of the NAIS Office of Diversity and Inclusion, Randolph was co-founder of the People of Color Conference, which we are now attending, as well as the Student Diversity Leadership Conference. So we thank you for that. Most people aren't aware that you're also responsible for the establishing, I guess it's about 13 multicultural resource centers that were spread throughout the country, all with the funding of Dewey Wallace Reader's Digest. And then the personal thing for me is he's a former Black Panther. And I think you need a little bit of that attitude to do this kind of work. So, Randolph, thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done and the things that you continue to do. And you always say that, this work didn't come out of nowhere.
You saw that, you heard that. This is the type of stuff that we're battling right now in the school system that is now has touched itself to the private school system where people are actually paying for their children's education. Can you believe this? Can you believe this shit? This man is actually bragging about this guy being a Black Panther teaching hate to children and trying to make children feel like that being white is a sin. Being a black child in America, you don't supposed to work hard. You're supposed to sit on your ass and let things come to you because you've been a victim for some shit that they weren't even responsible for 400 plus years ago. You can't make this shit up. Let's get back to the actual article at hand. Carter is the founder and associate director of a 501c nonprofit organization called East Ed, according to his LinkedIn, which offers services to pre-K 12 schools across the country seeking to develop a clear implementation plan that connects all diversity and equity work. According to the now defunct East Ed website that was accessed by Breitbart News via Wayback Machine. Amen. As both of the founders of East Ed and a member of the Black Panther Party, Randolph had devoted his career to promoting equity and diversity in education and communities. His bio on the East Ed website says when the page was active while at the National Association of Independent Schools, he directed their equity programming and founded two of their signature projects, People of Color Conference and Student Diversity Leadership Conference. Carter is also listed as the director of another organization called Midwest Ed Collaborative, which states its mission is to serve as resources to schools, colleges, families, and agencies and support the establishment of equitable and anti-bias multicultural environments, according to the Midwest Ed website. Despite having parted ways from NAIS, Carter is still active in the People of Color Conference. He founded and participated in a recent one, which took place in December 2021, according to lectures such as Small Activists, Big Impact, Cultivating Anti-Racist and Activists in Kindergarten, Decolonizing the minds of second graders, and the white people way. You can't make this up. And one section of the People of Color Conference held just a few months ago, a lecturer provides tools and materials to help educators in the NAIS private school network train 5-year-olds in kindergarten on how to be social justice warriors, according to the footage obtained by Breitbart News. Kindergartners are natural social justice warriors. The NAIS teachers training entitled Small Activists Big Impact begins. And if we just build upon the mindset of the kindergartner, that is fantastic. You can get them to do fabulous things in the social justice realm. You can't make this shit up. There is a transformation period that happens. Kindergartners and a lot of kids in the beginning, when they're 5 and 6, the mindset is a very centered mindset, right? Me, me, just me. So we have to think about how we can start with, you know, yeah, think about yourself, think about your identity, think about who you are, and then we're gonna slowly move. So I read this article by Professor Bree Pickhour called Using Their Words, 6 Elements of Social Justice, Curriculum Design for the Elementary School Classrooms. And it was absolutely fascinating. And I thought this would really be helpful for framing my year about the hope accomplished. The lecturer continues. And I want to play this part where she's talking about this crazy bullshit.
Kindergartners, I want to say to you that kindergartners are natural social justice warriors. Like I mentioned before, I see this all the time on the playground. It's unfair. And this is why it's unfair. This is the reasons that it's unfair. And I think if we just build upon the mindset of a kindergartner, that it's fantastic. You can get them to do fabulous things in the social justice realm. Okay. So years ago when I started the work, I thought about how could I frame the work where I'm hitting all the core topics and domains. Like how I can't just jump in and say, okay, we're gonna do this, and they have to have a foundation in which the work is built upon, so you can see also as an educator how really there's this transformation period that happens, kindergartners, and, a lot of kids are, in the beginning, being 5 and 6, the mindset is a very self-centered mindset, right? Me, just me thinking, right? So we have to think about how can we start with, think about yourself, think about your identity, think about who you are, and then we're going to slowly move. So, I read this article by Professor Bree Picower called Using Their Words, 6 Elements of Social Justice, Curriculum Design for the Elementary Classroom. And it just was absolutely fascinating. And I thought that it would be really helpful with me framing my year about what I hope to accomplish in a year with kindergarten students. So the first domain of Bree Picower's 6 Elements of Social Justice is self-love and knowledge. The second is respect for others. The third is issues of social justice. The fourth is social movements and change. The fifth is awareness rising. And the sixth is social action. And I'll show you how throughout this presentation, I'm going to show you how I kind of hit on those certain domains to get the results that we want for them.
So you saw that, you heard that second video of this bullshit. Now, another lecture in the series features a teacher discussing how, dressed in a bulletproof vest, goggles, and a gas mask, she participated in protests in Portland, Oregon. Following the murder of George Floyd, her activism helped me think about my area of influence in terms of being a teacher and how to really push the concepts forward, she explained in remarks called Decolonizing the Minds of Second Graders. And moving into show how it shows up in the classroom, these ideas of settler colonization was something that I started to really understand at the root of a lot of the systematic racism in this country. She added, so I want to give you the definition of that. It's an ongoing system of power that perpetuates the genocide and regression of indigenous people and cultures. And so we are settler colonists, right? We perpetrate that unless we are indigenous to the land that we are on. And there is so many more of these videos. I'm not going to play any more, but here's another one. In the same lecture, the speaker says later, indigenizing the classroom also includes avoiding terms that she perceives as capitalistic, such as the word goal. Often, in education, we talk about learning goals or learning targets. And a part of the indigenizing the classroom is also breaking down how we view our classroom culture. So that word goal to me feels very corporate and very capitalistic. So instead, I really would like to flip that and use the word intention. Oh God, the lecture explains. A separate session presented at 2021 conference featured a slide titled Burn Shit Down, with a lecturer who described herself as vice principal, urging educators to recognize when systems are broken and imagine something new, including examples such as designing grading practices. Another section in AIS conference explains tips on how the concealed planning from students' families, advising teachers, listening to avoid leading people to feel the way they have a say in the process when they actually don't. So as you're in this planning process, there's an important question of how we share progress and what kind of transparency is going to be optimal. Is what you'll share, how you share it when constituencies need to hear what at what time. It's a fine balance because the one hand, the sharing makes it clear that this work is going on, this work as priority. And this is just a long, so I'm gonna have to put the link below, but I'm gonna get off here now because it is a long article. So basically, this is what's going on in our schools. Okay, we have a problem, guys. Private schools. These are the schools where people pay money for their children to get top-rated education. It's now got to be worried about being bombarded by this shit here. Teaching white kids that they're more, they have a more opportunity than a black kid, and that teaching black kids that since they are less than that of the white child, they have to be self victimhood. When in reality, these kids should be taught equality. You ever heard of that word, guys? Let me help you out. Equality. That means everybody's on the same goddamn playing field. Okay? Everybody's got to put in the work. The problem is that unfortunately, these white liberals have programmed black Americans, especially on this liberal SJW bullshit, that the only way you want to be successful is you got to guilt trip your way through life, which is horseshit. Because if that was the case, we wouldn't have the successful black Americans that we have already. This is America. You put your bootstraps up, you fucking focus, you get it in. These teachers should be ashamed of themselves. What is wrong with telling a child? What is wrong with telling a child that it's okay to have a goal? It's okay to have a target in life to be successful. If you cannot accept that, teaching that, especially to children that are at worse circumstances than, let's say, little Johnny over here, if you want to call it, in suburbia, then you need your ass beat because this is sad and this is not America. That's why, guys, we got to stop this shit. Shout out to the parents that are homeschooling their children and are not allowing this because enough is enough. Anyway, if y'all like what I just said and you want to hear more, I'll put that link below. But please, guys, tell me what y'all think about now CRT invading private schools. Please like, share, subscribe. I love you guys. With that being said, I'm out.